Day number 25, just hit a major milestone, not because of the number. It was something else that happened this morning. Basically, I woke up this morning though, and woke up at 16 a.m. and immediately stood in my standing frame, journaled a little bit. And I don't know, I have coffee right when I wake up every morning. I have a little cold brew, but I had some cold brew, I had some nicotine, and for whatever reason, it might have been that combination. I think it was just a buildup of all the financial stress and physical stress and tiredness that I've had going on, but I was just so anxious. I had just nothing but fear and guilt and anxiety coursing through my veins. It persisted all the way through. I did 35 minutes on the bike, took some supplements and everything, and some detox supplements, used the restroom, sat in front of the red light, pretty much consistently still felt the same way, and then ended up going and hitting a sauna session. And the major breakthrough is really the first time in 25 days that I've been able to actually take full control of my breathing, and for brief periods, not for any sustained amount of time, but I control the breathing for a sustained amount of time, but for brief periods inside that, have full control of my mind, complete relaxation, comfort, despite the fact that I was way beyond my own personal panic point. Was able to do 30 minutes straight, which is a personal best for a first session in quite some time. Sorry, I'm squinting so much. I'm just getting blasted by the sun right now. I'll try to open my eyes a little bit more. But yeah, huge milestone. It just goes to show you that it basically took 24 days to just get to a baseline of kind of health, mental health, well-being. My stomach and everything is finally cooperating, my guts, and it really did take a full 3.5 weeks to get to a point where I could have full control of my mind, just for glimpses and minutes. Where you're really truly thinking about nothing, allowing your bodily functions to fully heal, and you're just in a state of complete bliss, darkness, relaxation. And like I said, I was only able to create that state where it was 100% just existing in a single moment. I was only able to create that for maybe 30 seconds at a time maximum, on like an exhale, and maybe 15 seconds at a time on an inhale. But it's awesome. It's good. It's nice to really feel the benefits of something that you're doing. And I think the real, I don't think anything will kick off fully and have full kind of superhuman, superpower feeling and mentality until probably about day 90. I feel like in the past 90 days of consistency, doing something, and especially with diet and sleep and exercise, it takes about 90 days until you really get that full supercharged feeling that everyone's looking for and everyone wants. But yeah, that's it. That's the update for the morning. I just had to come out here, lay in the sun for basically 4 or 5 minutes, however long it took me to film this video. I did about 30 seconds before the video of just assimilating, breathing, letting my heart rate calm down so I wasn't all over the place when I was talking. But yeah, that's it. And I'm gonna head inside, shoot off a bunch of marketing text messages for health insurance, and then I'm going to head into work. Yeah, hell yeah. Woo! Oh man, it is so amazing how quickly clarity comes when your body is just not ravaged by the inflammation caused from a shitty lifestyle. I can't emphasize enough how different I feel mentally just from consistently doing the things and the habits and the eating and everything that I know I should, and technically, pretty much everyone should be doing their own variation of whatever works the best for your body. It's, if there are 7 billion people on Earth, there should probably be about 7 billion different diet variations. I think the dogma and the just myopic view diet that we constantly take is insane. Vegan diet, carnivore diet, keto diet, whatever it is. I think you just have to experiment and find kind of a mixture that works for you. Unless you're doing something therapeutic for a certain amount of time, it is good to do, that. But the point is, I just have such more honest conversations with myself, have more easily able to visualize a path that makes me happy and excited to live when I'm not just struggling with pain, inflammation, and anxiety that comes from, poor habits and poor diet. I know now more than anything, I definitely want to go down some sort of healer journey. It doesn't mean I need to be a healer myself. I mostly want to assimilate knowledge from healers in every single dimension of improving the human body. I want to talk to people who do stem cell regeneration, people who do Reiki healing, people who do different psychotherapies and heal the mind, spiritual practices that lead to a more whole human experience. What I've realized in the last 5 years of desperately trying to just get to a baseline, not feeling like absolute hell, like I might die in the next 3 weeks, like just getting to feeling kind of good has been my goal, is just not feeling exhausted, chronically fatigued, and sick. And then eventually that goal will graduate to feeling fantastic all the time. But what I've realized in the pursuit of regaining my health after this car accident I went through 5 years ago and many other health complications since then is that all of the fancy stuff is nice. The red light therapies, the functional electrical stimulation bike for paralyzed people, the expensive supplements, and all of that is great, but it just does nothing if you don't hit all of the pillars of health. And I think the first pillar that is probably the most neglected one in the health space and the human optimization space and just in general in our society, and has probably the most profound effect, is basically a toss-up between the mental pillar and the spiritual pillar. I mean, everyone thinks they're going to deal with the trauma, the childhood trauma, all the anxiety and mental health stuff. I feel like everyone thinks they're going to deal with that once they deal with the physical stuff. If I just felt physically good, then I'd have the capacity and the ability to feel mentally good. But it's just not the case. I mean, it's almost impossible to get there. You might have to make some strides if you're truly injured and sick and down and out, but I still think the first thing you need to address is, things like childhood trauma, guilt, anything that invoke, whether it could be spiritual related, not having a relationship with whatever you want to call it, the universe, God, something greater than yourself. Everyone defines it differently. It's individual pursuit, and I have no steadfast definitions in my own life. I like exploring that aspect of my existence in many different ways. But if you don't have a relationship with something greater than yourself, then you can't be humbled by that, that's just going to hinder you in every way, shape, and form. You got to lay down your head, ask for help, ask for whatever from the universe, and fully trust. That word faith is thrown around as, as, I don't know if it's thrown around, but anyways, that word faith is really important. You got to have the real conviction inside your heart and the trust that you put in something greater than yourself. Whatever you define that as, I think it is as important, but that's one thing that just has to happen, I believe, for complete, to be a complete human. That's just my personal belief, but I think it's often overlooked how important it is, and we just focus on all the fancy stuff, all the new fad things that are happening, and everyone's looking for the next supplement or the next hack or trick to feel good again. And it's just, those are all things that can push the needle. They can move it forward, incrementally 1% at a time, but without the spiritual dimension and that trust in something greater than yourself, I mean, that's going to push the needle like 58% of the way or something. And then dealing with anything that invokes negative emotion. So it could be childhood trauma, it could be habits of thinking that you've gotten yourself into that are kind of like an addicted neural cycle inside your head, like a neural pathway that your brain is kind of addicted to being in, where you just think about problems or think about things you have to do, think about the future, think about the past. It's generally when you're living outside of the moment that you're in, so you're either thinking about something that has to be done, something you've done in the past, and it invokes fear, anxiety, guilt, shame, whatever bullshit emotion it is. Facing those things head on, processing through them, not escaping those emotions. What I have discovered at great length, like through great tribulation in my own life and just ignorance and whatever shortcomings I had that didn't allow me to understand that the process of working through all that old shit that can crop up and capture and take away from the moment you're living in, you have to allow those emotions to happen. Like, I always escape. I felt anxiety, fear, discomfort, guilt, shame, whatever it was, whatever those lower base emotions were, I just escaped from them. Even sometimes through healthy activity, I escaped through them through long distance running or super hard exercise, or I would escape by, indulging in food, watching television, scrolling on my phone, going out partying, drinking, drugs. I just always found a way to suppress all the emotions rather than sitting with them, letting them happen, processing through them, and just fucking getting them out of your life. And I don't think they ever just go away. Maybe they do. Someone far more evolved than myself would have to answer that question. But they get fewer and far between, less substantial, and you start to direct the electrical pathways inside your head down more productive routes that have happiness, contentedness, tranquility, peace. You can start derailing the old pathways, something, whatever it is, a thought of a bill that you're going to have to pay used to ignite like anxiety, panic, whatever it was. But now, through a combination of two things I talked about, number one, having trust in the universe or the world or something greater than yourself, that you'll figure it out, that you'll provide, trust in yourself that will happen. And then also by just sitting with those emotions and letting them happen, you start realizing how fucking pointless they are, how unhelpful it is to be anxious about it or whatever, and you can just solve for the problem. Just figure out a solution, and if there's no immediate solution, just know that you're going to perform at your absolute best every single second in the present moment until you come up against, the crux of that problem, and the problem probably won't be there if you do that. Or you'll find a solution at that time. And so it's all those kind of things that I'm thinking about and just wanted to share, because you never know who's on the other side of that camera. Might be exactly what you needed to hear today. That's often the case with me. I feel like I discover things on the internet and new people to, ingest their ideas and their, perspective and their place in their life, learn from their stories. I feel like they come at the right place and the right time, and so hope by some chance that right now was the right place and right time for us to hang out here together while I drive into work. But update on the physical side of things, because that's still ultra important, and everything's a system. I still did not get my biceps that sore. I hit them 2 days in a row, and they're definitely sore, but I just gotta do more sets. I've been doing short little workouts at work, just kind of barely getting a pump and then calling it good, just because of time crunch. I'm already doing so much stuff in the morning, sauna and stretching and FES bike and standing, and it just eats up the time that I can spend working. So I gotta spend a little bit more time at work. Maybe I'll go to the gym twice each day, just for like 15-20 minutes each time, rather than like 25 minutes for one time, and just try to really crunch in more working sets. The main problem is I don't really have time. Changing just takes up so much time, and I haven't really wanted to just absolutely break a pouring sweat by doing like a 35-40 minute really hard workout, but might just have to work out really late in the day and be sweaty at my desk for an hour or so. I'll bring a spare change of shirts, but I really don't want to add to my already insane laundry burden. Yeah, that's the plan. I'm going to do shoulders today. No more to give biceps a rest, and I'm going to go to LA Fitness on Thursday. What's today? Wednesday. So tomorrow I'm going to go. Thursday I'm going to just go to work like normal and probably hit chest again pretty hard, and then Friday I'll go to LA Fitness and do just a devastating back and bicep workout. I really want to get my biceps torn down to the point where it's like hard to lift something up. I want to feel the muscle breakdown, because I don't want that every time I work out, but I want that to kind of kick off the gains train. But I'm not really going to be making any big muscle gains for a couple weeks, because like I've spoke about in the last couple of videos, super dialed down on the calories, just for mental reasons, and to lose some fat. The added advantage of losing some visceral fat around my midsection and just leaning down is great, but mostly doing it to just peak my mental acuity and prep my body for going to a music festival for basically 8-9 days up in the mountains in British Columbia. I'm gonna go camping up there, and I want my metabolism to be nice and low so I don't have to consume a ton of food, can use the bathroom less, and also I just feel better in that state. I really want to go to this music festival and not wear myself down. One of the goals is to use not too many extracurricular substances, especially ones that like really fuck with the dopamine system. You know, namely a popular South American white powder and also MDMA, just because those just take such a toll on your dopamine system for a long time. It's hard to, I think they have their place in people's lives and the world, but yeah, they've had their place in mine for enough time in my life that I don't really need to experiment with that much more. So I'm gonna minimize that, and I really want to come back from the mountains recharged and refueled rather than go there and just deplete my entire system by using it as escapism. Use it as indulgence is the exact opposite of the word, but what's the opposite of escaping? Going in? Inwardism? I don't know. But rather than doing what I've done in social situations my whole life, just kind of having, it's nice because finally, for the first time in my whole life, I just don't give a fuck anymore. I just cannot care about anything that anyone else thinks. Or, I mean, I have moments of it, but they're fleeting and passing. I just don't give a shit anymore about what anyone else thinks or about, you know, performing or worrying about anyone else having a good time. You know, I'm just able to be myself and relax, and I'm just comfortable with what I'm doing and what I'm gonna accomplish and everything in my life. I just don't care anymore about all the other stuff that comes along with social whatever. And so I think it'll make it a lot easier to just focus on being in the moment, enjoying the time, away from work and away from the flatlands up in the alpine forest, and I think it's going to be awesome. So my goal is to come back recharged and recuperated rather than depleted and just fucked for like 2 weeks afterwards, which has been my previous. I mean, I'm sure I'm going to be pretty tired out, and definitely my come on, just let me in, dude. What's the big deal? What are we? Had to make a kind of aggressive turn there. My experience in the past has definitely been over indulging, not sleeping, not, you know, taking care of myself. And I think it was because I just felt anxious, like I was supposed to be doing something the whole time. Like I was supposed to be, I don't know what I felt, but any situation like that would invoke like a static level of anxiety of some sort in me. And I just don't think I have that anymore. I'm ready to just go chill and relax. So yeah, hopefully we'll come back, feeling pretty rejuvenated. Time will tell. But anyways, almost into my beautiful job selling health insurance to the masses, and I'm going to hopefully crush it today and get a little workout in, edit some videos. But I'll see you in the gym. All right, and we're back. We're in the gym. We're doing shoulders today. Just gonna basically do like one long continuous superset, 3 different exercises, 3 sets of each. Just started with some front lateral raises. These are really nice because you can use a lot of core engagement while you do it. I've got a back brace on here, but still able to squeeze the obliques and the abs up front and the lower back, and just get a nice kind of mix of a workout. But yeah, gonna do kind of one set of those just right up until not complete failure, but pretty close. And again, just always on a time constraint here at work. So it'd be great if I could get into the gym, do 12 to 16 working sets, but yeah, just haven't been able to take the time. And I also don't have anywhere to change, so don't really like getting that sweaty in my work clothes and then going and sitting next to everyone. But after that, grab a little bit heavier weights. I don't know what those are, probably 30s. But you can maybe see if you zoomed in, but we'll just guess, well, like 25, 30s, 35s. But did just some press. You can see that I backed up against that cable machine there because I don't have any like wheelie bars or anything on this wheelchair. And yeah, kind of at risk of tipping over backwards. And it is actually nice to do it free without the bar because it just takes a lot more core work and core balance. I think it's better, but just wanted to really focus on the shoulders and kind of take the core out of it on this one and just cycle through these quickly. Then after those, just going to pop back and grab these other weights and just do a set of side lateral raises. Just kind of 3 nice workouts to just get the shoulders going while I'm on a quick break from selling insurance and phone calls in the office. And I ended up doing this, I believe, I definitely did. I just did 3 sets of, 3 cycles of this. So a total of 9 working sets, which is, when you're going to, I only showed 1 cycle because it would get pretty boring to watch the entire workout. But when you go to, you're near failure on 9 working sets, it does, it pushes the needle, it moves the bar. But anyways, let's get out of here. Day number 25, coming to a beautiful end. Got the heat lion here that I only notice apparently when I film videos. It's just his new home in the corner. My girlfriend and I were just talking about all the craziness in the world today. She sent me some video, guy talking about how it's harder to buy a house, harder to do everything, and people are getting married way later, and how the debasement of the currency is basically the establishment or whoever it is out there, the giant multinational corporations, stealing your time from you. And it's a crazy time. The next 5 years are going to be the most insane time to be alive in all of human history, I think, with just the confluence of factors that are coming together. That's why I'm so obsessed with healing and health and wellness and everything, is because I just don't see any greater need for anything in the world than just people pumping the brakes on consumption and taking some time to, treat your body like a temple, treat your mind like a temple or whatever else it could be. And it's just it's kind of a world of sheep and lions right now. I think the sheep are walking into a pretty crazy slaughter in the next 5 years. I just think with AI and all of the kind of things that the ultra powerful and wealthy people figured out with, the bad actors in that group. I don't think all wealthy people are bad in any way, shape, or form, even the wealthiest of the wealthy. But I think the bad actors who have a lot of power and money really realized what they could get away with the whole pandemic, and we'll likely see another big kind of wealth extraction event, whether it's real or manufactured. events in the future. And I just think, yeah, the average sheeple out there that are just consuming the news, consuming the products, just blindly trudging through life, not guiltily. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with sheepling around, but yeah, all the people on that boat are just gonna get eaten by the lions. But I think there's ample opportunity for people to become lions themselves, or alternatively become a shepherd and be a guiding force in the world and protector in any way that you can. And I kind of think those are, the three roles that people are going to have to choose from in the next, maybe those have always been the roles, but I think it's going to be in turbulent, wild times. I think that, it becomes way more obvious which role you're in. You can't hide. You're either feasting, fighting, or being feasted upon, and it becomes very obvious that's happening. Whereas right now it's a lot more insidious. You might be a sheep thinking that you're a lion, but when shit hits the fan, you realize you're actually on the menu, and that you've really been being stolen from slowly for so long and so subtly and sneakily that you didn't even notice. So that's what's on my mind for day 25 is, what role am I going to find myself in when we do inevitably hit times of turmoil? Things have just been way too good for way too long in most parts of the world. I wish they could just stay that way, but we as humans tend to be cyclical creatures. And quote that I love from the great Rogan himself is, what does he always say? Hard times create hard people. Hard people make soft times. No. Bad times create hard people. Hard people make good times. Good times create soft people. And soft people create bad times. And I think that's kind of the trajectory we're going down. Everyone arguing about a bunch of shit that doesn't matter. Religion, race, sexuality. And I'm not saying it doesn't matter and there's not major problems there, but there was kind of a brief time there in like the 90s and 2000s where it kind of felt like we were all coming together and just assimilating and getting over that, and now it's getting way more divisive. And I just think that's because people don't have other shit to worry about. If there's real shit going on, war, famine, a lot of the trials that humankind has had to deal with before, you just don't care about any of that stuff. You just don't. At least I don't imagine that people do. Anyways, kind of a solemn end to the night, but just a little philosophical thinking. I'm going to throw on a book. I'm listening to Journey to the Center of the Earth by some author on Audible. I always put a book in when I work late. It's like 10 p.m. right now. I got home at like 9 because it takes me, if I work late talking about insurance, and I just get amped up, I guess. And I'll just sit here and think about shit like this, whatever it is, the roles of different people play during turbulent periods in human history. And rather than doing that, I'm just going to listen to a book about a scientist who discovered an old text and decides to go down a hole in Iceland and find the center of the world. So makes me go to sleep way faster. My sleep latency on my Oura Ring when I listen to a book is like 11 minutes most of the time, rather than like 30 or 40. And so that counts for something. I'm yawning and acting super tired, but I swear if I don't put this book in, I just shut off the light and go to bed, I'll just sit here and think about weird shit for 30 or 40 minutes. But I'll bid you farewell. Day 25. Super proud of myself for making it this far and have 100. Wow, my math is terrible. 155 days to go. All right. Good night.